Welcome to the Candidate Forum for the New Haven Unified School District, sponsored by the League of Women Voters. There are 3 open seats on the board. My name is Alex Starr, and I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Fremont, Newark, and Union City, and I will be your moderator for this forum. First, a brief word about the League. The purpose of the League of Women Voters is to promote political responsibility through informed and active participation of citizens in government. The League is non-partisan. The League does not support or oppose any political party or candidate. It is political in that it reaches positions on selected governmental issues after member study and agreement, and takes action for positive change on those positions. Here are the ground rules for the forum. Questions from the audience will be collected and given to the question sorters who are sitting to my right, who will sort them to ensure that a wide variety of issues will be covered. Due to time constraints, we may not be able to ask every question that is submitted. Each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to respond to each question. Our timekeeper, who's seated front and center, will raise a 15 seconds card to warn the speaker when 15 seconds remain, and a stop card, bright red, can't miss it, when time is up. The speaker must immediately conclude his or her remarks. Time limits are closely followed to ensure fairness to all candidates. We will conclude with a 1.5 minute closing statement by each candidate. Now, for the candidates, if you would like me to repeat the question, please just ask. I would be happy to do so, no problem at all. Also, do not feel that you have to use up the entire 1.5 minutes if you don't need to. We expect the audience to give each speaker an opportunity to be heard. Please hold your thunderous applause until the end of the evening. So now that you know the format, please meet the candidates running for the New Haven Unified School Board. At the end is Nick Fresquez. Next comes Michael Ritchie, then Michelle Matthews, and Jonas Dino. Okay, everybody ready to rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
Okay.
Full magazine.
And we'll just go down the line. We'll start on my extreme left and then go down. And then the second question we'll start with Mr. Ritchie. Okay? First question. New Haven's bond measure did not pass, and cuts have been made, including cuts to library services and prep time for teachers. What can the board do to provide the same quality of services to present students that previous students have received?
First of all, the board's got to get real. Long-term is the solution, not the short-term fixes that they're advocating. I've got a newspaper account. They're talking about New Haven gears up to pump funds. They said your child is going to be proficient. What it really means that your child is 2 grades below where they're supposed to be. They tell you that your child's advanced. Your child's at grade level. What they should have done was, my girl, Dr. Palatella, she's a genius. She can distinguish between cat and dat in a person's thinking, so our children. And in doing so, she can give your child the type of education that they need. In other words, your child will be tested on how they learn, not what they know, but how they learn. There's 2 websites for teachers that they share information. She'll go with the teachers to say, this lesson plan is for A student here, and this lesson plan is for this student here, B and C and D. So you're going to do it right the first time, you get it right. Not the same BS and spending money on consultants and fees. All this is about money. They don't care about the kids. If they did, they would have done it right the first time. And these guys have got some brilliant qualifications. But guess what? They won't tell you that he sold your kids out for the last 8 years. The No Child Left Behind program was a failure when it started in Texas, and Bush made it nationwide. Why these people backed it up, I don't know. They're going to have to answer to you. But it was a failure program.
Okay, so the question of how can we give good education to those given the current circumstances. What I would say is the board, prior to my arrival and also this past year with my arrival, we try to keep the cuts away from the kids as much as possible. That consistent action has been done by the administration and the board, in my view, over the last number of years, which means that they have cut other things. But this last year, we have not really been able to do that, and actually probably the year before as well, with increasing class sizes and things like that. But what we have done is we have asked that the teachers also, there was a good collaboration between the district and the teachers union as well as the CSEA union. And what happened there is they took some pay cuts in order to mitigate the exposure to the kids. In addition, some of the cuts for the paydays that they have were actually only for things like their prep time and stuff. So that again, we've had as minimal of cuts as we can to the kids, but we do have this problem. We aren't able to fund the way we should have, and so what we need to do is pass something like Proposition 30, and I will talk more about that in a later comment, but that would be the way I look at it at this point.
Thank you. Just to piggyback on what my colleague, Mr. Ritchie, said, we have to basically think out of the box, and currently what we're doing right now is looking into selling surplus properties in the district. So this is something that is unprecedented. Our finances here in this district, what we're going through is happening all across the state. So we're not in this boat alone. And so we have to work with our bargaining units, with our employee groups, and figure out ways to keep the cuts, again, out of the classroom. It's getting harder and harder every year. We've been fortunate in that our bargaining units have been working with us, and they understand the importance of providing quality education to our students. So while we're doing that at home, we need to continue to work outside of our district up in Sacramento to get measures like Proposition 30 passed, as well as talk to our legislatures and get them to care about education in the state again. I believe we're ranked 48.5, 49 in the state of California in terms of how we fund our students. And it's pathetic. So we just need to continue to work hard and work together.
Okay. As with everyone, probably in their work situations, we're all strained. There's less people to do the work, and so on. The same thing goes here for the district. So what we need to do is we need to work together as a team. We have to come together, and it's nice that we are coming together. We are working together to make any of our cuts, any of the things that we do in our district fair and balanced. Just make sure that no one part of the district is impacted too severely. As I said, it's like a team, like the Giants. If you had the best pitching, but you had lousy management and you had lousy hitting, you're not going to be where you're at. If you had great hitting, didn't have great pitching, or any of those things. So we have to work together as a team. We have to look for additional sources, and looking at possibly selling some property, looking for help from different organizations like the New Haven Schools Foundation. Also make an appeal to anyone who has any kind of funds to help donate for us. And then we also have to work with the legislature to, again, as Ms. Matthews said, make them care about education as we do. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with Mr. Ritchie. Okay. Do you favor, and we've gotten a hint from a couple of comments you've already made, do you favor the passage of either Prop 30 or 38, the tax initiatives on the ballot? How do you see their passage or non-passage, I suppose, affecting the New Haven district?
Okay, so I favor both. I would certainly love to see both pass. I think it's unlikely that both would pass. Really, I think realistically, we can look at 30 being more likely. The polling for 30 is looking better than 38. 30 is the one for, make sure everyone understands, 30 is the one that's proposed by Governor Brown, and 38 is the one by Amali Munger. The teachers union supports 30. There's other organizations support 38. My view is that we just need to have one pass, because literally, if we do not have one of these pass, we will see more than 20 days additional cut from our schools next year. And that is going to be devastating for everyone, not only for our kids, of course, but also for our employees. That is too much to ask, to not have them have that, that's just too big a cut for their income. So 30 is something that's looking reasonable. I would also say that I would encourage everyone to look at those, and I certainly in my campaigning for my own school board am starting to talk to people about that and finding that not everyone knows what it is, so we need to get the word out. So I would encourage everyone to take a look.
Between the two propositions, I'm actually leaning more towards Proposition 30, simply because if 38 garners more votes than 30, then that will set off the trigger cuts in our school district statewide. So that's a little scary. But again, as Mr. Ritchie said, any financial relief that our school districts can receive would be greatly appreciated. I am also leaning towards 30 because there's some end to it, whereas with 38 has more of a long-term impact on taxpayers. So between the two, again, like I said, I'm leaning more towards 30, but any tax relief that and financial relief that we can receive from our state would be greatly appreciated.
For me, yeah, I have to still look at the different measures, 30 and 38. Again, anything, as our previous candidates put, if it's going to bring money into our district, I'm in favor. I'm leaning more towards 30, but 38 has some interesting ideas on it, where you have money going straight to the school districts. So I'm still looking up. I'm gonna work with everyone to get one or two passed, as long as that they don't interfere with each other and cause more problems than if one passes. So I'll keep taking a look, and I encourage everyone to take a look, because the more people know about these things, the better informed we are, and the better we can make our decisions on these funding issues for the district and California. Thank you.
Proposition 30, because back in the day, corporations, rich guys used to pay $1.50. Now they're only paying 25 cents. Proposition 30 will make them hopefully pay their fair share. But the deal, they're forgetting the deal. First of all, you're not going to sell your property. You read Naomi Klein's book, The Shock Doctrine. This is a banking problem, and they're putting it on us. The bankers get the district so poor that you got to sell your property to them. Come on. You could think better than that and outside the box. The problem is that we are not getting enough return on our on CalPERS. The pensioners are supposed to get 7.2% return to be self-sufficient. It's only getting 1%. Now, why is that? Short-term interest rates are rigged. Long-term interest rates are rigged. The stock market is rigged because 84% of the stock transactions are done by computers. $100 goes there, back and forth a million times. That's volume, but that's not liquidity. Bottom line is this: we have got to change the rules. Quit fulfilling fatty. They have stolen our money. The money that should be going to our kids, your kids, are going to the bankers. That's as simple as that. And there's nobody up here that got the guts to say it, because I'm not looking for another job. This is my job. The biggest problem I learned through my years as being an old man, because you can tell I'm an old man, is people don't do their job. They're always looking for something else. We can do this. This is what I think about what we can do. Work with...
Okay. I'll put in a quick plug for the league. If you want to learn more about the Propositions 30 and 38, go to smartvoter.org, and probably by the beginning of the week, we will have a video up on our website when we had a meeting